about honoring America's heroes. Let's talk about your elected representatives. And let's talk about a whole lot of nothing. It's a vacant lot at Broadway and Colfax, land that is owned by RTD, sitting unused. It is a whole lot of nothing. The people planning a National Medal of Honor museum see that whole lot of nothing and picture a park-like entrance to their museum someday. They're still deciding whether to build it here or in Arlington, Texas. Both cities were trying to win this museum. Then an RTD director said this.
I'm inclined to be less than impressed with the National Medal of Honor Museum. I don't know how many National Medal of Honor winners there are that they need a museum for that.
RTD Director Kate Williams, elected to represent Central and Southeast Denver, declined to come on this program to discuss those comments today. We will answer her question directly in just a moment with the help of Google and a basic appreciation for American history. Williams and other board members blocked the museum's proposal last night. She also had this concern about a Medal of Honor park downtown.
When I go there now, I think one more park will have one more group of homeless people on it, which is what City Park looks like now, adjacent to the library.
Homeless people sit in parks, so we should stop building parks. Got it. Williams would not answer our questions, but she sent a statement that read in part, "I'm fine with a museum honoring those who have served our country. I've not been shown why a park will help anyone." RTD Board Chairman Doug Tisdale pleaded last night with the board to approve this project. He fell one vote short. Today, facing public criticism, Tisdale announced that he found a way to force a vote of the full board to look at this issue again next week. Do you think that RTD embarrassed the city of Denver and the state of Colorado?
I don't think RTD embarrassed the city or the state. I think RTD was not able at the time with the information presented to take action, and I think that with this new recommended action item coming forward on Tuesday night at the full board meeting that we will be able to respond to all of the questions and concerns, and I hope that the matter will then pass.
The city of Denver is offering to cover all of RTD's lease payments on that whole lot of nothing if the museum can then use it. As one board director said last night, it's not like there are other people beating down their door with better offers for that land. RTD directors are now hearing from Denver Mayor Hancock and Governor Polis. They both want the museum here, and they put out statements today suggesting that RTD is going to change its mind. Kind of like, hey RTD, that's a bad lot you got there. Sure would be a shame if something nice happened to it. So at the end, we're left with RTD Director Williams' question about how many Medal of Honor winners there are anyway. The Medal of Honor is not won. It is not a carnival prize for tossing a ring around a bottle. America's highest Medal for Valor has been awarded to 3,507 recipients. Allow me to tell you about just one of them, a man who was born steps outside Director Williams' district. Joe Baldonado was born in Denver, the son of migrant workers. He moved with his family, farm to farm, before he enlisted for Korea. There he died saving the lives of his brothers, atop a hill known only by a number. A hero without a hometown, no community left to remember him or his sacrifice. But America's getting better about remembering. A review of records found a list of servicemen of color whose valor was deserving of the Medal of Honor. So President Obama handed the medal to Joe Baldonado's brother Charlie. Charlie told us how grateful he was that Coloradans were promising to remember the brother that he feared would be forgotten, one of 3,507 recipients of the Medal of Honor. Let's talk now about an obscure work that does important and high-profile work for the state. For a second time now, Colorado's Civil Rights Commission is being told to get its act together. That commission handles discrimination complaints, like the complaint against Masterpiece Cake Shop that went all the way to the Supreme Court. Today, an audit revealed that that Civil Rights Commission is slow and it sometimes breaks Colorado law. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
First, it was the United States Supreme Court that said Colorado's Civil Rights Commission was hostile toward the religious beliefs of Colorado baker Jack Phillips. That was a nationally covered discrimination case. Today, it was the state auditor's turn to wag a finger at the commission, revealing it does not investigate complaints in a timely manner, with processes that are opaque and prevent the public from being assured it operates in a fair and consistent manner.
Of course, we must continue to evolve the commission and division, and if there are things that are happening inappropriately, we must address them right away.
In 2018, during a House floor debate on how civil rights commissioners should be appointed, Democratic State Representative Leslie Herod talked about how state law requires discrimination complaints to be heard by the Civil Rights Division before those complaints go to court. Then she said this.
The Colorado Civil Rights Division works in its current form to protect businesses and prevent these types of lawsuits. I ask, if it's not broke, why fix it?
The audit has highlighted some issues within the Civil Rights Commission and Division that we should fix.
Those challenges lead to trust and confidence for the people of Colorado.
Republicans and Democrats finally agree the Civil Rights Commission needs a fix. The sticking point might be what that fix looks like, since Republicans still don't have power in the House or Senate or governor's office.
It's clear now that this isn't really a Republican issue or a Democrat issue. This is a protect the people of Colorado issue.
You did not hear from the executive director of the Civil Rights Division in that story. I got a basic statement from the office, but Kyle, what I wanted to know, this is now the second time they've been dinged in kind of a high-profile manner, so is it time to start fresh? And a similar question that, we asked DIA's Chief Kim Day with all the problems with the Great Hall remodel, is it time for a new executive director? I've been promised I will get answers to those questions.
Asking somebody if they should be replaced strikes me as an awkward question to ask.
It's an uncomfortable question, and this is an uncomfortable question. Do we need a new executive director?
You specialize in uncomfortable questions. I don't even know why I sit by you anymore. All right, thank you, Marshall. The state auditor's office today said that Colorado needs to do a better job tracking the effectiveness of school safety programs, found a lack of coordination between school programs. And the audit says that some districts aren't getting access to school safety resources. The audit calls for a centralization of the system, recommends improving the safe-to-tell pipeline by creating designated school contacts, and also the idea of giving response teams better direction on how to handle false tips. News moves fast, much faster than traffic on I-25 through downtown anymore. So we told you about 5 options CDOT's considering to help traffic between Santa Fe and downtown Denver. Well, today CDOT revealed that of the 5 options, it prefers number 5. Move the existing rail line to the east, freeing up space for the highway to be expanded without having to drastically move it. That would require Union Pacific to sell CDOT the land, which is known as Burnham Yard. Typically, the signs we see that you share with us make us laugh. Today, we share a sign that offered hope to our Jordan Chavez at a time he says he needed it most.
I so love that I'm allowed to be honest with y'all about my mental health, my battle with severe anxiety. And let me tell you, friends, the past couple weeks for me have been pure hell. I'm talking about struggling to get out of bed, avoiding work emails at all costs, buckets of tears, and even those thoughts that tell me I'm not worth it. Earlier this week, I actually started to believe them. And so in a last-ditch effort to avoid harming myself, I decided to go for a run. And when I stepped out of my building, a piece of paper fell to the ground. It was a drawing with the Superman logo, and it had the words, "Have hope." I can't even describe what I felt when I saw it. I smiled through tears because in that moment, here was a sign to keep going, to keep living. I don't know who drew it. I don't know why it was left at my building's door, but what I do know is that it saved my life. So I left it there in case someone else needed it too.
I hope if you need the Superman sign that you realize that it is there for you as well. So is Colorado Crisis Services. 24/7, their number is 1-844-493-8255, or you can text the word TALK to 38255. Next, to introduce you to the Vietnam vet whose war injury took his sight, but not his art. 2 years later, he's back to tell us about his next challenge. And what's that thing at the Denver Library?
Well, at first, I thought it was some sort of dinosaur.
Guess again.
It is a giant chicken.
A lesson in perception. And here are some of your answers to our next question about how you would radically change Colorado.
How's your week going? This is the last week of summer. It was beautiful today, but warm. Average high this time of year is actually 78. We were above that again in the mid-80s, a trend that will continue for another day or two. Hey, some of you might see a few light rain showers tonight. There are a few storms tracking from the southwest toward the northeast, but really the heavy rain, the real big storm is Imelda. Went on shore just to the south of Houston, moving inland, bringing 5 to 8 inches of rain. And Imelda is now a tropical depression and weakening to a low pressure area. We also tracking Umberto, Category 3 hurricane, forecast to stay offshore. We have isolated gusty storms early tonight, then clearing, lots of sunshine tomorrow. Another warm, dry day. The whole weather pattern will be shifting heading into the weekend, and it'll feel more like fall on the last weekend of summer. Partly cloudy and 53, an isolated storm early and then clearing. Sunshine, 86 on Thursday. Again, a foothill storm possible. Cooler on Friday. Temperatures in the 70s moving into the last weekend of summer. Autumnal equinox is Monday, 1:50 a.m. Cooler weather with a chance for showers for the first few days of the new season.
The bullet that hit Jim Stevens in the head in Vietnam reduced his eyesight to a pinpoint. Yet Jim never lost his vision of how art could change his life and the lives of others. When Next last talked to him 2 years ago, he left us with this thought.
I don't know how not to work on my art every day. That's what's next for me. That's the question that's next. What's next? That's my question to myself every day. What's next?
2 years of asking, Jim found his answer. As you might expect, it involves using art to help veterans. He showed our Anusha Roy.
The story behind some of this art,
I'm absolutely proud of these people.
that story can be invisible until the artist decides to talk about it.
I don't know that I could calculate the impact.
Jim
It
Stevens
takes me about 2 months.
knows there is no way to quantify it saving a life.
I know of three veteran artists that would have committed suicide.
When the VA in Aurora wanted more veterans to create and display their art in the halls of their new facility,
Art saves lives.
do you think it did that for you? It made sense
Yes.
to go to Stevens to help launch the program.
Some have gotten jobs out of it, just being more involved in the community.
Sarah El Haj, a recreation therapist, says it's more than boosting confidence, it's science.
The serotonin levels when you're in a happier mood goes up.
And has watched patients dial back on some of their medications.
Not all medications, but it has substituted some medications, especially depression.
So it made sense to Stevens to help with this project,
I love faces.
who has clearly seen the power in art.
Art allows you to focus your attention on something other than your problems.
For Next, I'm Anusha Roy.
The VA in Aurora says they believe they're the only location in the VA system with a program like that. Now with 400 veterans on their mailing list, encouraging them to do more art. Trying to get a trash panda to leave the party. It's the most Colorado thing we've seen today. You had the age of dinosaurs and then the age of humans. Nope, not quite.
For many, the chicken is a mascot for this new geologic era we're in.
Cool, I guess. That's next. We live in the age of the chicken. Seriously, scientists say so. Apparently, we humans have so much of an impact on chickens that chickens will be one of our longest lasting legacies.
So since this artwork is a monument to humanity or a monument to the human impact in the world, I felt like citing it within a building that is about human history, human knowledge, would help have that conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't miss it.
We're in the Denver Central Library in Schlesman Hall.
Initially, I thought it was a dinosaur skeleton.
The sculpture you see behind me is a sculpture of a giant chicken.
I was told that there was a giant chicken in the main hallway, so I came down to see. We have 3 chickens at home.
Yeah, I guess we just call them the chicken or chickie sometimes.
It is a giant chicken.
My name is Courtney Lane Stell, and I'm the Executive Director and Chief Curator of Black Cube, a nomadic contemporary art museum. We produce art that relates in some way to its location, setting, or context.
Another picture.
The broiler chicken, or the 308 chicken, is a representative for the Anthropocene, which is the current geologic era that we're in.
In the future, when people dig up the land, they will notice that there were a lot of chickens.
The artist is referencing the dinosaur scale in order to allude to previous geologic eras. I hope this artwork encourages curiosity, encourages reflection on our impact in the world and our power.
Amazing.
The giant chicken will be on display at the Denver Public Library's main branch through December 8th. The most Colorado thing we've seen today is a question.
Okay, just got my cat here, and then I got a friend. Does anyone know how to get a raccoon out of your house?
Rebecca tagged next on her instant video of some late-night visitors in Highlands Ranch. Trash pandas with a refined palate. She thinks they came in through the back door looking for the chili she was cooking for dinner. They never got the chili, but they tore up the pantry. Rebecca said she coaxed 3 of them out using, quote, kind words, persistence, and tortilla chips. To her surprise, there was a 4th straggler hiding in the sofa until 3 a.m. Her dad spent an hour working on that guy. You can always share the most Colorado thing you've seen using the hashtag HeyNext or email us at next@9news.com. Jordan Chavez will join me in a moment to hear your feedback for him. So all your feedback tonight is for Jordan Chavez. So I asked if you would come out from the newsroom to listen to some of this as Jordan continues to update you on your mental health struggles and how you find the ability to see it tomorrow. And I think so many people resonate with that. Natalie Kreider wrote in to say, it took a lot of courage for you to speak out. I'm glad that men are finally speaking out about their mental health. And Natalie says, you're worth a lot to a lot of people. John wrote, tell Jordan Chavez, keep hanging in there. Thank you for the courage to share your story. And I love this from Jennifer Mandela. I hope that you know that this is true. The number of folks that you have helped, the lives you have saved are unknown to you. You can be assured there are many. There are many, many, many. Superman right there. We'll see you next time.